This is the Royals POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Kansas City Royals. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to the Royals POSTCAST, your go-to spot for live post-game reaction to every single Royals game this season. I'm your host, Chance Liebau, and you can follow me on Twitter at Chance Liebau. That is my name tag on the live stream. If you can't make a show live, don't worry. These episodes will be uploaded for you to listen to on demand wherever you get your podcasts. I want to say thank you for making the Locked On Royals podcast or the Royals POSTCAST your first listen of the day. Before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on our notifications so that you get an alert whenever we go live. Thank you so much for joining the show, and feel free to join the live chat. Let me know your thoughts on the game. I'm sure you have plenty, and I'll do my best to maybe get to some comments if I don't get too long-winded here. I might not get long-winded because it's the same things we keep talking about over and over and over again, because the Royals cannot hit worth a lick. The offense continues to just make the same mistakes over and over again. Hey, congratulations, Royals. You had 10 hard hit balls tonight. But Cleveland's a really pitcher-friendly ballpark, and they have elite defensive outfielders. They learned that tonight. So that was a just atrocious performance. I turned it off for 3 innings. I couldn't watch it anymore. I just couldn't stomach it. I tuned back in the 8th inning just to see if they were going to do it. And wouldn't you know, Michael Massey is the hero we've all been talking about. Finally hits the 11-run home run and gets the Royals in front, and they win 11 to – wait, no, they didn't. They lost 10-2. They almost got no hit. Yeah, that's exactly what you'll be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
0 hits through 8 innings. You guys want to know what Slade Cecconi did in his last time out? They talked about it on the broadcast. 11 hits, 7 earnings against the Red Sox last time out. Slade Cecconi today, 1 hit through 8 innings. He walked 3. At least the Royals had some, better appearances at the plate, but he walked 3. Royals had 10 hard hit balls off of him. Whatever. I don't want to say that they didn't want to be there, but you go and watch that body language from the Royals, and I don't want to turn into a body language doctor, but you go and watch the body language of that team from the first inning on. You tell me, did they really want to be there? You are in the midst of a playoff push. I've said it for a while. This team's not a playoff team. I still don't think they are, but they go into a game in which it is a you are getting into must-win territory. And I hate saying that. I talked about it. I've talked about it a couple of times. I hate the term must-win because there will be a season tomorrow. This is getting as close to must-win territory as you can stomach. Guys, there are 18 games left in the season, and they are about to be 3 back of the Seattle Mariners. They're about to be 3 games back with 18 to play. They did not look like they gave a bleep out there against the Guardians today. They didn't look like they knew how to play the game of baseball. I mean, you look at the stupid. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about what happened at the plate because that's a story in and of its own. They didn't look like they wanted to be there today because all of the defensive miscues. I mean, Jack Caglione missing cutoff guys. I mean, just trying to play hero ball and trying to throw guys out at second. Hit a cutoff guy. Listen, I understand that you are frustrated by being down 10-0. I get it. But trying to throw a guy out at second base is probably not the necessary play right there. Hit a cutoff guy. Stop trying to play hero ball. You're down 10-0. Michael Massey trying to make a shovel play to second base. Hey, I get that it's a tough play. You got to make a tough play. There's a play at first base, probably. I mean, get up and make a play at first base. I respect the effort in trying to dive and make a play up the hole and save an inning, but poor execution on that. And then Yastrzemski missing a fly ball in left field where he had no idea where the baseball was. I understand it's weird playing in Cleveland in September, in a night game in September. It gets dark early there. It's a sleepy spot. Same thing with Chicago. It's weird playing there past the summer months. We are into the fall months, and it gets a little bit dark, a little bit early. It gets weird to play there at night. There's nobody there at the games, and it's hard to get yourself up to play in those games. But instead, they just, atrocious performance from all parties involved. There is not a player on that team that suited up today, that donned the gray and blue, that should go into the locker room feeling good about themselves. Just a piss poor performance tonight from the Royals. Not even a chance, a snowball's chance in you know what at competing in this game. And it was right in front of them. Ryan Bergert has been awesome all season long. He's been spectacular since coming over from San Diego. He gets blown up. And, I thought he pitched pretty poorly. I really did. I usually come on here and my I always say, well, I thought they were fine. But he was not good. He just wasn't good. Too many balls in the middle of the plate. Too many hard hit balls. I know that we're all frustrated about the offense, but nobody played well. There wasn't a single player that could have left this game feeling good about themselves. They didn't look like they wanted to be out there tonight. They looked like they'd rather be watching the Monday Night Football game and checking out their fantasy teams. They don't look like they're prepared for a postseason push. I just cannot stomach. You got a guy throwing absolute taters up there. Slade Ciccone, meatball machine. This season, Slade Ciccone, 8th percentile in fastball run value, -9 runs created against the fastball. This season, players are hitting .321 against Slade Ciccone's fastball, a fastball that Slade Ciccone threw 50% of the time tonight. There were 12 instances in which he had a strike in the zone that the Royals watched go by on a fastball. 13 of them. They saw in total tonight 58 strikes from Slade Ciccone, whether those be swinging or called strikes. 22 were called strikes. 25 of them, if you combine that, were also swings and misses. This is a guy that is a horrible, horrible major league pitcher. Has been for the entire second half of the season. .321 batting average off of his fastball this season. .564 slugging percentage. And it's not an outlier. .329 last season. And the Royals did not do a darn thing against his fastball. They watched it go by. 13 times the Royals watched his fastball go by for a strike tonight. A fastball that was in the zone 70% of the time. That is asinine. That is an atrociously bad performance. I don't understand what you are going up there and looking for when this guy he has thrown a ton of fastballs. It's who he is. Tonight, if you combine his sinkers and fastballs, he threw 58% fastballs if you combine it with his sinker. He also threw his curveball 30 times, and they couldn't hit that worth a lick either. The hardest ball they hit against his curveball was 73 miles an hour. They couldn't do anything against a terrible major league pitcher tonight. You're telling me that they got one hit all night long, and it was a little butt out, flick out into the left center field hit from Massey. That is a all-time bad performance. That is an all-time bad performance for an offense. You can say what you want about the White Sox losses or the Nationals loss, which I don't consider a bad loss. This was far and away the worst loss of the season, and I don't think you can argue it. Nobody played well in this game. Nobody. Not a single person. And I think that Matt Cochero is going to rip him a new one. I really do. I know that he's pretty mellow all the time. I watched him go to the mound getting Ryan Bergert. I watched him in the dugout. That does not look like a guy that's just going to brush this one off and say, hey, guys, we'll go get him tomorrow. They are going to get laid into tonight by a manager that has seen this team piss away any opportunity at a playoff spot because they are so bad at putting together consistent ABs. It's unbelievable that this team continues to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. I said it the same thing yesterday, and yesterday was more a frustration point with the lineup. Today, other than Bobby Witt Jr., this is a pretty solid lineup. But guess what? Maikel Garcia, 0 for 3. Vinny, 0 for 3. Salvi, 0 for 3. Frazier, 0 for 4. You didn't get anything out of anybody in the middle of that lineup. They weren't the problem. The new guys weren't the problem. It was the other guys that continue. It was the guys that you rely on a night in, night out basis. Vinny, Salvi, Maikel, that just cannot string together multiple ABs of quality baseball on any given night. It is insanely frustrating to see this team continue over and over again to be the same exact team every single night. All right, I'm going to catch my breath because that was unbelievably bad offense from the Royals tonight. If you turned it off and went and watched Monday Night Football, I don't blame you. That was atrocious tonight from the Royals, and I sure as heck hope they come out tomorrow and play a little bit better. All right, we laid into the offense. We'll get to Ryan Bergert here when we come back on the Royals Postcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there is Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can see all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, and get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. You can identify that you aren't saving as much as you thought. Monarch helps you notice an inefficient investment allocation and discover forgotten 401ks from past jobs. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. Today's episode is also brought to you by Zippix toothpicks. Whether you're looking for nicotine satisfaction or an energy boost, Zippix has you covered with their nicotine and caffeine-infused toothpicks. For nicotine users, Zippix provides a discreet way to satisfy cravings and the hand-to-mouth habit without vaping or smoking. Zippix can be a helpful tool as you work to reduce your dependence on vaping. Available in 6 great flavors with 2 milligram and 3 milligram nicotine options. If you need an energy boost without the crash, their caffeine toothpicks are a game changer. I've used the caffeine toothpicks before big meetings and long drives. They give me energy without the jitters, and the flavors like peppermint watermelon ice actually taste great. Go to zippixtoothpicks.com. Use code LOCKEDON for 10% off your first order. Must be 21 or older to order. Warning, nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's zippixtoothpicks.com. Promo code LOCKEDON. Zip more, smoke less with Zippix toothpicks. All right, let's talk Ryan Bergert. That was a really underwhelming performance from Ryan Bergert tonight. He kind of felt it coming. At times this year, he's flown a little bit too close to the sun. Kind of similar to Noah Cameron, put runners on base in, bad positions and been able to get out of jams. Tonight just was not the case. I think he was in the zone too much. I really do. And there was a point in time in which Ryan in the broadcast was talking about he had thrown 22 straight strikes, which, hey, I've been on here and said that guys don't throw enough strikes. But at that point, I think that he just was not getting – I just think that they were not getting – what they wanted out of those pitches in the zone. I mean, he was in the zone, but just a little too much in the middle. And they put it up on the broadcast, where he was at in the middle of the zone, which I thought was pretty rough. But if you look at where he was at, I mean, it's a lot of pitches in the middle of the zone. I'm about to sneeze, so I'm going to try and hold off on it. But I mean, I'm going to try and share my screen here. Let me share my screen here and pull up the oh my goodness. All right, Savant. All right, here we go. So I'm sharing my screen here, and you can see where all the pitches are just in the middle of the zone right here. If you're watching the live stream, and if not, I encourage you to go to YouTube. Just a lot of stuff in the middle of the zone. And then when you see all the fastballs that were in the middle of the zone, it's really a ton of them. I mean, they are all over the middle of the zone. So that's where my point of frustration really comes when it comes to Ryan Bergert, is because he just puts too much stuff in the middle of the plate, kind of like Chris Bubich did, because they're very similar pitchers. Fastball tends to rise with them. They get that vertical spin on there, and it tends to rise. He didn't get that enough today. Too many balls in the middle of the zone, and that's kind of where he struggled today. So I am frustrated with how he started today, but the defense didn't help him out at all. Mike Yastrzemski with a bad rundown in the outfield. I mean, on the night, if you actually look at it, Ryan Bergert gave up just 6 hard hit balls. And Jack and I were actually texting about this in our group thread, that the Guardians just got way too many just flicks out into the outfield. The Royals could have used plenty of those tonight. The Royals actually got 10 hard hit balls off of Ciccone, but Ryan Bergert just in the zone too much tonight. I know it's crazy to say that. The fastball was at 96 or topped at 96. The sweeper was not hit well. I mean, nothing was really hit hard. His changeup got hit hard, I guess you could say. I mean, average exit velocity off the changeup of 99 miles an hour. Nothing else really got hit too bad, but 54% in the zone, and in the zone, 85% contact rate in the zone on the fastball. That's just not going to do enough for me, in my opinion, when it comes to Ryan Bergert tonight. So really let down by him tonight. 11 hits, 8 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Just wasn't good enough. I will say, just not good enough. But for Ryan Bergert, he'll have an opportunity to bounce back. Tomorrow's starters. Let's take a look here at the starters for tomorrow's game because, fortunately, the Royals do play a game tomorrow. As unfortunate as that may sound, they do play tomorrow. Noah Cameron goes against Joey Cantillo. So the Royals will see a left-handed pitcher. So I'm already preparing my scheduled tweet for when everybody is upset about Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione not being in the lineup. They're facing a lefty tomorrow, so do not expect them in the lineup. Don't expect Yaz in the lineup, and probably don't expect Bobby in the lineup tomorrow because he does not look like he's much closer to returning, but just a really frustrating day for the Royals. That's really all I can say because it's just getting repetitive at this point. The offense isn't good enough, and the pitching staff shouldn't have to bear it. I'm frustrated to no end with this team, but I appreciate you guys for being here tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow night around the same time for another edition of the Royals Postcast.